It's your boy MTS, and welcome to another episode of Let's Unpack. Today's conversation is going to be real, it's going to be heavy, but also I hope that you get some healing. We're talking about something that's not easy to say out loud. We're talking about suicide and mental health among Black and brown men. For too long, we've carried these lies that suicide is a white people thing. We don't do therapy. We go to church to get healed, or getting help makes us look weak. And because we've kept these pacts, too many of us are hurting in the dark. So before I continue, I want to let you know that this might be triggering. This episode talks about suicide and trauma. And if this is sensitive for you, take care of yourself first. And if you need support, call or text 988. That's the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. So let's unpack this episode. According to Forbes, 62.8% of Black people in the U.S. received some form of mental health service in 2021. This sounds like progress, right? But here's the reality. Even with that number, many Black men still didn't reach out for help dealing with mental trauma or thoughts of suicide. And if we take a look at the data from the CDC between 2018 and 2023, it says that suicide rates in the U.S. actually declined for others. They were young people, ages between 10 and 24, and people between the ages of 45 and 64. But for Black Americans, it's a completely different story. Ours went up. Ages 10 to 24, the suicide rates went up to 29.4%. Ages 25 to 44 went up 29.2%. And ages 45 to 64 went up 17.4%. Let that sink in. While other groups saw numbers go down, ours went up. That's just not data. Those are lives. Those are people we lost. Those are fathers, brothers, uncles, friends, best friends, Black men that we lost. This is not a small problem. All right, let's get it through our heads. This is an epidemic in our community that we don't talk about enough. We've lost some really great Black men. I know I've lost friends to suicide and almost lost a family member to suicide. But we've also lost some pretty famous Black men like Lance Blanks, former NBA player, and Twitch, Stephen Twitch, the entertainer and dancer. That one hit me hard. That one bothered me. And Chris Lighty, a music executive. I mean, probably like some of the biggest hip hop groups Chris Lighty was behind. And these were men who on the outside looked like they had everything together. They had the success, they had the family, they had the platforms, they had the money, and yet they were fighting with demons that most people never saw. Their deaths shocked us, but they shouldn't have. They should have woke us up. They should have woke us up. We have to start talking about this before it becomes a tragedy. I know many men can relate to losing a brother, a friend, someone to suicide. I have, as I mentioned. And let's do that by first getting over some daggone stigmas. You know our community. I don't want to look weak. What does that mean? I don't want people to think I'm crazy. I know I heard that before and growing up in a Black home. I don't want nobody to look at me crazy. What? What if my job finds out? Now that's real. But if you're only informing someone who's in your HR and not everyone on your floor, that's fine. I mean, there are certain things that they have in place to help those with disabilities. And once again, let's get rid of this that therapy is only for white folks. Get out of here with that. I mean, this belief that we've had has been passed down from generation to generation. And the other thing we pass down to Black men, Black boys, be strong, hold it together, man up. And when we get older and the pain comes too much to bear, we try to silence it by doing all the extra stuff we do in overtime at work. We try and do things to make us distracted. We want to be numb. We want to be numb to the pain. But that silence doesn't heal anything. That silence just leaves a wound that gets deeper and it just festers. And I get it, believe me, man. A lot of that comes from our history, from not really trusting the medical system, hospitals, from not having a safe space to be vulnerable. But that's exactly why these conversations matter, because being strong doesn't mean carrying everything by yourself. Strength looks like also saying, hey, I need help. All right. And let's deal with this one thing that I hear all over social media now. Everybody talking about trauma. trauma. I got trauma. Most of them don't even know what it means. So here's what it is. Trauma is anything that overwhelms your ability to cope. And then there's psychological trauma. Happens when your stress response is pushed beyond or past this limit, and that leaves a lasting impact on your brain. Let me give you an example. Imagine growing up as a little kid without a dad, without a father, and then going to school and going to report card day, and you see all these other children who have dads. And as a child, you try and wrap your mind around that. You try and figure out, like, wait, where's my dad? Why is my dad not in my life? Does he not love me? Did I do something? And your mind at that age can't really process that. Not understand that there was two adults who made adult decisions. That's an example of trauma. Also, coming where I come from, you see violence, you see poverty, you see racism, you experience racism. You could lose a loved one. Some of us grew up in some unstable homes, and we saw some things that we should never see as little kids. And the thing about trauma is you don't always see it on the outside. It's not a visible thing. It's inside. Some people can look like they have it all together, but be going to hell in the handbasket. And I mean, be honest, we all know someone who's experienced that, right? Experienced growing up in those unstable families. And if we could be honest, it could be many of us. So we don't talk about it. But what if we did talk about it? What if we did decide to go in and say, I want to expose this and get help? Those dirty family secrets. We need to do better, people. So how do we move forward? How do we get past this? First, there ain't no getting past it, but we must normalize getting help. We must think of therapy as a way to get healed and not weakness. We need to talk to someone. Talking to someone doesn't mean you're a failure. It actually means that you're presenting and you're showing strength because you understand you need this help. You're struggling. And if you are struggling right now, if you have one, talk to a trusted friend or a family member that you can confide in. Seek out a therapist, especially someone who understands our culture and our experiences. And if you didn't have any of those things up top that I gave you, here's some resources. Once again, you can reach out to 988. That's the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. You could call or text them. Then there's Therapy for Black Men, and that's therapyforblackmen.org. You can go there. And then there's the Boris Lawrence Henson Foundation, and this was founded by Taraji P. Henson, and it provides mental health support to Black communities, okay? So healing doesn't mean your pain wasn't real. It just means that you're choosing to no longer define yourself by your pain, by your trauma. And to my brothers listening right now, you matter. Your story matters. Someone wants to hear from you. Someone wants to be encouraged by you. So don't give up. I want to say this again. Suicide is not a white issue. It's not someone else's problem. It's our problem. It's a human issue. And it's time we stop whispering about it. We deserve to heal. We deserve to live. If this episode touched you, please share it, okay? Talk about it to someone. Check in also on your people. Share this with someone. And if you are struggling, please reach out. Your life, purpose, it matters. Don't let that pain convince you that you're less than, all right? Thank you for listening to Unpack. I'm MTS. And until next time, stay safe, stay seen, and don't be afraid to let your light shine. Speak your truth. All right. Peace out. Later.